Tax-deferred growth. So tax-deferred growth is one of the two ways that your money could be taxed as far as investing. So tax-deferred growth is the first, and capital gains taxes are the second. So some of your accounts, many of your accounts actually get this preferential tax-deferred growth treatment. And those are any retirement accounts you have, whether they're at work or in your personal IRAs or Roth IRAs. If you have an annuity, annuities also get tax-deferred growth, and many college accounts do as well. So they're really good because that means any buys and sells that happen inside the account, so you could be changing the investments, any of these swaps that you do, they're not taxable in the year that you do it because all your taxes are going to be delayed or deferred until later on when you actually retire. So the trigger for taxes on tax-deferred accounts is when you withdraw the money. That's when you distribute it from your account, send it to your bank account. So that withdrawal is the trigger for taxation. Most of the time this is going to happen later on in life in retirement. Now be aware that if you do try to take money out earlier than that, then there's other things you might have to be concerned with, like penalties. There are certain exceptions that you might could get for penalties, but in most cases if you take money out of a retirement or a tax-deferred account too soon, then you may be subject to penalties, which we'll talk more about that in a later course. But tax-deferred growth is one of the best ways to build wealth. I think a lot of accounts can benefit from it. Capital gains tax is the alternative. You got to really watch when you buy, when you sell, and how much your gains are. If you held it for over a year, it gets pretty complex, which I'll talk more about in the next section. But tax-deferred growth makes it really easy and allows your money to continue that snowballing effect as it grows to retirement. Now, a couple of downsides. The first is that you don't get to deduct any losses in a tax-deferred account. So it's just really whatever the account value is, what it is. If that includes some gains and some losses, you can't kind of sparse those two apart. Instead, you just kind of got to accept the value of the total account for what it is. So you don't get to deduct any losses in particular. You also don't get to deduct any type of fees that may be charged on the accounts. And that's important to know. Sometimes some brokerage firms may allow you to take the fee that's charged on a tax-deferred account, like your IRA, and maybe have that fee actually deducted from a separate account, from like a brokerage account that's not an IRA. And that may be possible. Some of them allow you to do it, but many of them don't. So that's something you could ask about. But in most cases, tax deferral makes it really easy. You don't have to worry about when you bought, when you sold. You just got to worry about your contributions and your withdrawals. So no taxes for quite a long time on these types of accounts. I look forward to sharing more with you in the next couple of sections on capital gains.